Not the people who understand that dynamic, but I'm saying, and this is why I keep putting it like even 3 generations down.
But as soon as the generation, remember, 500 years ago, a kid didn't like what his father was doing to the slave, but him become slave master. A kid didn't like what the police them was doing to black people, but him becomes a police. People who are running American government was kids that didn't like what their father was doing, but they are doing it now. And this generation will happen 10,000 generations from now. Just like all the kids them this marching now and don't like what their parents doing, because these kids are marching and and then parents are run America, And then parents, the 500, them are the same people. When them grow up, them are going to become them parents. And we are going to become our parents. So this is why it takes 500 years and still going. Because they don't change. So if you believe change is going to come that way, it won't. Because once they recognize the ability of black people, they have to fall in line like, can be equal. Because if you put them in it, they're going to take it. Your father run a company. Your father, a white father run a company. And he decide to say, okay, here, we want the best to run this company. It's not his son. It's not his son. It's that black boy over there is the best. How are we going to give it to the black boy who is the best? Or are we going to give it to his son?
Yeah.
So it can't be equal. There's no equality can come to America this way because they would be committing suicide. That's just how things are. And they know this because if you look at it, you can see it. You can see it. How can people that come from slavery can't read, can't write, now have nothing, poor? Remember in the 60s, black people now have nothing, In the 50s, think about the 40s. And look on us now. You get what I mean?
Yeah,
so think about 500 years from now. Where are they? We're going to pass them and way ahead. So they have to do something now to slow us down or work something out fast. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So equality now is no part of America.
So Obama had 8 years in office. Did Obama do a good job with his 8 years?
Obama did an excellent job for the country. And a beautiful job for American. Like me explain to you, it's 2 American, black and white. So he did a beautiful job for the American white people. And then bring the country back and stand in.
So he ain't do nothing for black people?
He didn't do nothing for black people because he came in. And the same place him come in, where black people was at, is the same place him leave us. He didn't move us none. Now, if he had done what Trump is doing for white people, if he had did that for black people, then we'd have way ahead. Because Trump come in and Trump just say, give the rich man the money. All them little racial people there we are going with all of the bamboos, go on, me protect them.
Yeah,
get up and do on the one though. Me have no.
Yeah, he didn't play the politic game.
Yeah,
he locked the Mexicans in cages.
Right,
he said he was going to build his wall.
Yeah.
He just laid it out on the table. And a lot of people thought Obama was going to come with that assertiveness, with that aggression, like.
What him coming like,
we need a different one, like who's gonna hold it down, and really put like basically tell it how it is. Like if you know something is out of place and something is wrong, don't sugarcoat it and beat around the bush with the politicking and all of that, because it's not gonna work. Like the way how Trump did it, you can't do nothing but respect it. Because he laid it out and he did his thing the way how he wanted to do it.
It may not benefit we, but him doing job for whosoever it benefit.
Yeah, he came with that aggression.
Like me say, you ask if Obama did anything for black people. Now him could have come in and him could have go and say all them people don't want to have lock up for drugs, which is not a violent crime. Everything under federal law, them will leave. Take them out immediately. Why? Because it's not a violent crime and them should not do 50 years. Let them go. Because Trump would have done that. You know, see, him can make racism a federal crime. Anything we find out where you can end up being in prison for anything racist. You understand? Him could have do things like if any school who want federal money, you don't have to take an exam to go in to become a doctor or a lawyer. Change them things there. You take an exam to come out. But open the door that black people can go to school.
Well, touch on that a bit more. What's the problem with having an entrance exam as opposed to an exit exam?
Okay, the entrance exam is created that they can pick who come in and who don't come in. Because how they're gonna teach you law, but you have to take an exam to learn law? Shouldn't they make you come in and then teach you law and then say, if you didn't learn the law, then you can't come out? But you can't take an exam to come in to learn something that you know nothing about.
When it comes to law, because I took the LSAT twice, and the thing that tripped me up was everything that I've done thus far, I always excelled at it. So I overestimated myself, thinking that the LSAT was just another easy test that I could pass.
Right.
But as I took it, I wasn't understanding it because it was tricky. It was like tricky questions. So I'm like, yo, in order for me to pass this, I'm going to need a tutor. I'm going to need somebody to break it down to me and teach me. So as I'm going and I'm looking up tutors and stuff, I'm like, yo, this is going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost a lot of preparation. It's going to take more time than I thought. So I literally, in order to prepare for the entrance exam, I would have had to skip that first semester just preparing to get into the school, and I would have had to come up with the finances. So I could speak from experience as these things to get into the school.
Yeah.
And I know people who's going through that now with medicine. I think they call it, I forgot what the doctors take, but it's mad expensive and it takes extensive preparation.
If
you don't have the resources to prepare for it and take it, it's taxing. A poor person with no resources or money, you kind of asked out.
So you see the trick to the trade.
Yeah.
All right.
I said it too. I was like, yo, if you get me into school,
I guarantee
I'll
learn everything
able to pass.
And give me an example.
And if you gave me that test at the end of the 4 years or 3 years or whatever it takes I would pass it.
Yeah, because you have a learning.
I'd be much more ready. I'd have the time to prepare everything, but just getting out of college and trying to jump into doing that now, I would have to take time off. I would have to gather the funds and the resources just to prepare, just to enter the school. So that is
all right. So it's by design.
Yeah, like that whole system kind of.
So that team should have broke down
my whole trajectory.
Because a man like you should have leave college and walk straight into law school, no question asked. This is what you should have done. I
definitely would have passed it.
And you know how much other black lawyers and would have? But it's designed to keep out poor people, which is black people. This is what I'm telling you. So it's a lot of things he could have done to better black people's life.
Yeah.
But he didn't do it.
If he did something like that, I definitely would encourage a lot of the young ones around me to go for law.
Yes.
And become a lawyer, try to become a judge or senator or something like that, because him doing something like that would encourage me to go back to law school.
Of course.
Because it's like now I could play on the playing field like how I would want. Like trying to prepare for that test just threw everything off course. Because I underestimated it. I was skating through the educational system like it was nothing until I hit up into that test. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna need somebody to mentor me and break all of this down to me, and I just got off course, even trying to build up the funds to even keep up with the test. So
and at the same time you reach an age that you have to maintain yourself. So how can now you reach an age that you have to maintain yourself, and at the same time you have to find money that you don't have to study for a course?
It would have taken months. It would have taken months.
Eliminate the course, because it have no meaning. It's unnecessary. You already can read and write. What is this there for? It have nothing. It have nothing to do with law.
Yeah,
it have nothing to do with nothing. It's
bullshit. Law and medicine. It is a big barrier for people.
An unnecessary barrier. So these are the little things that put in play that he could have moved to make black people able to survive.
What about what do you think of the drone strikes and stuff that he made in the Middle East?
Okay.
You gonna make it or you not? There ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. People they trapping, they shooting, they doing the most. There ain't no telling. My brothers is felons, they won't let them go. No. There ain't no telling, like who knows? How about the band? Oh, thank God for the proof, though. There ain't no telling, but God is the way, yeah. And that's all that I'm yelling. Ain't no telling, yeah. Come up with money, some people get jealous, yeah. I just came up so they hearing my message, yeah, yeah. Ain't no telling, y'all, ain't no telling, no, 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 no.